All right. Hey, Violins. I'm gonna be walking you guys through all of your music of Ships of Ireland. Um, Now this piece is our first piece we've done as a class that's going to be entirely in 6/8 time. So if you're still a little uncertain or don't know how to do 6/8 time, please check out the video lesson I did. It's just all about counting and knowing how to play your rhythms in 6/8 time. So I would check that out and then come back. All right, so I'm just going to start this from the beginning. So the first thing we always check when we're looking at new music, we want to check first our key signature and time signature. We already discussed we have a 6/8 time signature, so we're thinking, 6 beats in a measure where the eighth note is getting the beat, and then we also have B flat. So we need to be thinking F natural, C natural, as well as B flat. So a little out of our comfort zone, but it's really honestly not too bad, especially for us, because we don't actually have a single B anywhere in this piece. So the only low one we actually have to worry about is the occasional F natural, like you have here on beat 1 of measure 8. So just make sure we're playing like low 2s and then low 1 on our E string. So it's really actually not that bad. The worst thing is the new or time signature for us. So we're going to be coming in measure 2. So we've got a full measure of rest here in the first measure. So remember that's 6 counts, not just 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then here in measure 2 on beats 1, and it's kind of hard to see, it's a little faded, but this is actually a dotted quarter rest. And I know we haven't seen that before, but if we think like a quarter rest and quarter note are the same amount, like a dotted quarter note in 6/8 time is 3 counts. So a dotted quarter rest in 6/8 time is also 3 counts. So we're going to be resting for the first 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, play. This is beat 4. 1, 2, 3, play. Right? And remember, a quarter note's going to have 2 counts in it. 4, 5. This is beat 6. So rest, 2, 3, play, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this rhythm is like very, very common in this piece, where you have a quarter note followed by an eighth note, then another quarter note followed by an eighth note, just all throughout. It's even all the way down here, measure 31, 32. It pops up all over this piece. And the way we count that, remember, because like we're feeling the eighth notes, the strong beats are on beats 1 and 4. So all the quarter notes are going to happen on the strong beats, with the eighth notes kind of coming towards the back end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so notice the counts I clapped on. I counted on 1, clapped on 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. All right, so that's the rhythm that you've got there. Try clapping and counting that a few times. Like put on a metronome. So we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that's the rhythm that keeps popping up there. So we have that. We come on a beat 4. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Slur these 2 eighth notes. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Here's beat 4, where we have an eighth rest here. So 4, come in on 5. 5, 6. That's a real quick rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 5, 6. Then we have that rhythm again for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So take this nice and slow pizzicato, shadow bow, all that kind of stuff. But the good news is, once you hit measure 10, and you've got all this down, measure 11 is basically the exact same thing, just starting from measure 3. Right? This is like little pickup notes here that 11 doesn't have. So 11 through 18 is exactly the same as 3 through 10. All right, and whenever you've got it, it should sound a little bit like this. Okay, we are now at measure 19. First thing that's going to be big change. We were forte here at the beginning. Now we're piano. So we're going to be backing off and letting other people take the melody here. What's going to be the trickiest about 19 is getting these, rapid string crossings, down. So, string crossing between almost every single note. And the other thing that might trip us up a little bit is the last note in this measure that we think is going to be a D, but that's actually an E. So make sure we're being careful. D, F, D, D, F, E, right? So make sure we're not playing open D. That's first finger. And then we have C, F, C, C, F, C. And it's basically just going back and forth between, what's happening in this measure and then what happens in the measure after. It just kind of repeats back and forth all the way up until we get to 25. Then it kind of throws a little bit of a curveball at us. It plays D, E, D, C, E, C. So, maybe practice this measure alone so we're not caught off guard by it. And then 26 is the D, F, D, and then it kind of leads into the pickups into what happens at 27. So really practice, making sure we're keeping our bow, at an angle to where our movements up and down, our arm raising up and down doesn't have to move too far. So we want to make sure the movements we have changing strings is as minimal as possible. That way we don't, we can make sure that the notes are coming out clean. All right. And once you've got that down, it should sound like this. Okay, we're now at measure 27. And as far as phrasing goes, before we even get into 27, these three notes here, right before 27, is best to think of them as kind of like the pickups into 27. These three notes really belong to the melody here all the way up to 35. So while you're practicing 27, go ahead and practice it with the pickup notes. Notice also you have this crescendo here in this measure that leads up to the forte, so make sure each one of these notes is going to be louder than the one before it. And the melody that you guys have again here at 27 is really just a variation on the melody that you had back at at the beginning and at measure 11. We can see a lot of similarities between them. Again, it's that quarter, eighth quarter rhythm that we had a lot before. Watch out. Remember, we're still playing low 1 for these F naturals here. So make sure, we're getting that shift back to grab that. Watch our intonation. Once we get to 33, we've got this high A. So remember, with the fingerings we have here, A, G, F natural, remember that's going to be whole steps between each of these. So on our violin, it should look like this. So third finger's here on A, second finger's on the G here, just above where the tape is, where a low 2 normally is, and then we have a low first finger for F natural. So nice whole step space in between all of those notes. Okay? On the long bowing. All right, now on measure 35, I'm really not too worried about, these couple of measures. 35 through 42, we can see we've changed over to pizzicato. Just the only, the important thing to remember is since we're in 6/8 time, each one of these is going to be getting the strong beat. So with our metronome, everything's basically on the click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pluck, pluck, D, A, C, G. So make sure if you're playing with a metronome, which we really ought to be, you're plucking on the beat for every single one of these notes. And that's really all there is to 35. Okay, once we're done with the pizzicato section, we quickly got to get our bows back on the string because we don't have any rest. We're playing arco again at 43. And 43 is going to be another one of those variations, on the melody you guys had at the beginning. Just a couple differences. Like, honestly, it's almost exactly the same as what you had at the beginning. The only notes that are really going to be different is the fact that here in measure 48, we're actually going up to high A. Remember the finger spacing and pattern that we need here, because it's still F natural, O1, G natural, and then A. So just make sure you're playing the correct pattern there. Slur, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slur, and then also notice piano here. So make sure when we hit 51, we back off on our dynamics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's really all there is to it. Yeah, if you've got the beginning down, this part really shouldn't give you any trouble either. But all right, here we are, measure 53. There's going to be, you can see big bold letters. We're going to be going slightly slower, not a whole lot. But while we're practicing, still getting the notes under our fingers, this isn't that big a deal. We're playing everything slow basically anyway. So kind of a couple new things that are happening here. So we're a little under tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I apologize. It's kind of hard to see. Hopefully you've got your music at home and you can see what this is. But take my word for it. We've got these itty-bitty tiny little notes, little 16th notes that are happening just before both of these quarter notes. And here, let me zoom in on this, actually. It's going to let me zoom. Here we go. Right. So what these tiny notes are, and we'll use these. This is the exact same as this, so we'll use the one we can see a little better. We have an E, an F natural, and then an E. So what these are called grace notes. And now what grace notes are, they're like really fast notes that kind of happen just before the beat. They don't really have their own counts. It's kind of like notes you're just slipping into the rhythm before it actually happens. So without the grace notes, get where I can play. Without the grace notes, we have E, C, right? And now all these grace notes are doing is just adding in like a little flare for each of the E's. Is all it is. And you can practice that. That's just kind of like a little on and off. Is what measure 55 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ba-da-da, da, ba-da-da, da. Right. Right. Yeah. Practice that measure by itself a few times. Maybe while you're playing this, just to kind of get the rhythms down. Play it without the grace notes happening, so it's just the. So and once you've kind of got that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then add in the grace notes. Right? And that's really all there is to it. It's more that it looks scarier than it actually is. But once we've gotten past measure 55, 56 moves back into kind of like the rhythm we had here at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then make sure we get these nice strong accents here in measure 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right on those nice strong beats. And again, I know if I didn't explain it well enough, measure 55, the way the grace notes work, feel free to email me or ask if you can do a video call. Remember, I am in that Zoom meeting every day from 1 to 2. That's a great time if you're you need me to break it down a little more for you. I am there for that. But if you've got it, let's go ahead and let's move on. That gets us about to measure 61 now in our music, and 61 kind of takes us back to similar to what we had back at 19, where we just have these eighth notes just kind of going up and down, back and forth. These are a little bit nicer to us because it has a little bit less string crossing happening. You got the A, D, A, A, D, A, A, D, A, A, back and forth, and the G, C is really the only one that's a little tricky feeling because it's got the up and down string crossing. Just remember, keep our arm movements as minimal as possible. That way, it gives us more control. And the other thing that's going to be a little bit tricky here is just keeping the 6/8 pulse happening while you're doing this. Just do the best you can to subdivide. Remember counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as you're playing, and just really aim for like those bow changes happening right on 1 and 4. If you can really aim for that while the metronome's happening, that's going to help you to stay on beat a lot better. Okay, we're pizzicato again after 68. We're at 69. This part's really not too bad. Just make sure, pizzicato we tend to rush. Just be careful making sure while you're playing with the metronome that you're aiming for those strong beats 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pluck, 2, 3, pluck, 5, 6. If we can manage to do that, that's going to help us out a lot here. Measures like 70 and 72 where we have like a lot of like skips jumping up and down, definitely like isolate those measures and probably work on them a little bit on their own. Watch out for the little rhythm change here at 75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just again a couple reminders because it's been a while since I mentioned it. Remember our key signature. Remember it's all F natural and then C natural, right? So make sure that those are low, all right? Also, we do have, this is like the one time, I think, in this entire piece where we actually do have the B flats. So I think I said at the beginning we didn't have any. We have 2, right? They're in 70 and 74, so make sure we're playing the low one there. Okay, then we get to measure 77. I'm going to feel like I'm repeating myself because, the technique that we used back at 61 and 19 is really the same here. We've just these flared eighth notes, just making sure, we aim for counts 1 and 4 while we're playing with the metronome to make sure our bow changes are happening on those beats. They're really going to help us out. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 measures straight of the exact same thing over and over. So, make sure you're keeping up with, which measure you're on, which beat you're on. Because when we get to 83, we want to make sure we, get back into this melody all together when we're playing together. Just another reminder, remember it's low first finger for F natural, so make sure we're not on our tape, we're behind it. Otherwise, we're going to be playing F sharp, and that's not what our key signature says to do. So make sure it's low 1, C natural, F, F, C natural, F, F. Right, and then that shouldn't be an issue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then that should get us through there. Okay, I'm just going to talk about the last little bit of the song we've got left. 85 is actually where we go back to the original tempo. We're pizzicato. This is, you've done this already. Just make sure if you're, working on this in big chunks or playing through the whole thing, you just come back to the original tempo. I'm at 85. Skipping ahead now, we're going to talk about 93. We're back arco again. Nice fortissimo. This is like, our big finish for the song. And again, it's that same variation like we had back at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where we're playing on the 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So make sure we're playing the right rhythm there. We've got that 8th rest here on beats 4, 96, just like at the beginning. 98, we are going to have a retard, so we're going to slow down here just for these last 3 notes. We'll hold the high A. Fermata, please play it in tune. Fermata, high notes don't sound good if they're not in tune. Come back in on beat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Then we're back to the normal tempo. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Da 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 da, all the way out to the end. And that should sound about like this. Okay, that really should cover just about everything. I think the one thing I did actually forget to mention, I'm just going to mention this right now before I finish this video real quick. 54, I just remembered, it's not written in your part, but after this F natural here, there does need to be a reset here to get the bowing at 55. I know it's hard to see, but this is a down bow marked here, so it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Since this is a down bow, we will have to do a quick reset, cut the note just like a half a beat short to come in on a down bow here. But other than that, I think that was the only error or missing thing in your music. If you've got any questions, remember I'm available pretty much anytime because we're all stuck quarantined at home, so I've got my computer here. If you need to email me or Zoom, whatever, I am pretty much always available. Best of luck to you guys. I hope to see you all soon. Stay safe, wash your hands, don't go near people. People are bad. Bye.